I'm Amy. When Authority magazine reached out to me to ask me the 5 things every perfectionist needs to know to get past their perfectionism and just do it, I was so eager to do this video because perfectionism is one of those things that it can be such an asset, but if you let it, it can stop you from everything. So, the first thing is definitely a sense that your time has value, right? So when you approach a project, look at it as though you were paying yourself, say $500 an hour, say $1,000 an hour, right? How many thousands of dollars have you spent on that blog post? How many thousands of dollars have you spent on that video, on that article, on that presentation, right? Your time has value. And it's difficult to see that as a perfectionist because you want that product to be so beautiful. You want the thing that you're working on to be everything it can be. But because it's difficult, put it into a dollar value, right? Make it into something concrete and tangible that we all kind of understand intellectually. The second thing that I think is the most important thing, actually, is perspective. So things can be glossy, they can be beautiful, they can be hyper-produced, or they can be like this, right? This is me in my real backyard, in my real life, and you'll probably at some point hear my real neighbors. But if it were glossy and hyper-produced, would you feel like you were talking to me right now? Would you feel like you were actually sitting here with me, with nothing between us? Or would you feel like you were watching a glossy, hyper-produced movie, right? Perfectionism is something that creates a wall between you and the person you're trying to connect with, between you and your audience. It's something that stands between you and people. It's not helping those relationships. It's actually getting in the way. The third thing that I think is really important for perfectionists is a visual reminder of something that you love that's also imperfect, right? It's beautifully imperfect. So this is a teapot, just in case you couldn't tell. It's a teapot that my mom used to use only when I really needed comfort, right? So if I woke up in the middle of the night with nightmares, or if I couldn't get to sleep, she'd make me a pot of chamomile tea. And when I was 5 or 8, it felt really special to have tea out of this beautiful teapot. Now, is this a perfect teapot? Well, it's got a big chip there in the spout. The gold is worn off the handle. You can see there's lots of patches showing. It's not a perfect teapot. It's not, I don't think it's even a valuable teapot. It's just a teapot, right? But it's perfect to me because it represents something. It gives me that feeling of warmth. It's perfect in its imperfection, and without the chip, without the gold worn off the handle, it wouldn't be the same teapot, right? So have a touchstone, have some kind of a reminder. That was my hand thumping the table. Have some kind of a reminder of imperfections, right? The fourth thing is a trusted friend. Have somebody who can be your touchstone, right? Your perfectionist buddy. So for me, I have a great friend named Diane, who is amazing and talented and kind of a recovering perfectionist herself. She's also brutally honest and has very high standards. She will tell me if something isn't good enough. She will also tell me when I'm getting into crazy town and spending 10 times more energy than I need to on that particular thing. I trust her, right? I trust her opinion. I trust her input. I value that about her. And she knows that we've got a safe relationship, right? She can tell me, you're being crazy pants, and I will listen. She can also tell me, this is amazing, don't touch it anymore, and I will listen. She can also say, no, you missed the mark on this one. You need to go back and do it again, right? Or work on it, or fix this thing. And I will listen, and I value that from her, right? I am not scared of criticism from Diane because I know it's coming from the best possible place. I know that she means it and has my best interest at heart. And I think all of us have a friend who could be that friend, but we're maybe not using them. You know, and the wonderful thing is I can be that friend for her as well. This is a mutual relationship. And, you know, we're both getting better on this journey. We're both moving forward. The last thing, which actually is kind of what this video is about, is practicing being imperfect, right? This video is not glossy. It's not hyper-produced. It's real, right? My hand made a thump sound when it hit the table. My neighbors are doing something in the background that could actually be construction. This is really my backyard. It really is, right? None of this is shiny or fancy. It is imperfect. But it's imperfect because I want to speak to you directly. I want to connect with you, right? Now, if being publicly imperfect is a little too scary, which it is scary, I understand that, but if being publicly imperfect is a little too scary, try being sort of less publicly imperfect, right? This is my business me. Well, it's also my me, but if that's scary, right? Take a class. Take a class about something that you have never done before as an adult. Take belly dancing or basket weaving or something that is inherently complicated and that you know nothing about, and practice being bad at it, right? Being a little bit vulnerable with a group of people who may or may not be consequential in your life, right? Like, these don't have to be really important people, but just try. Maybe wear mismatched shoes one day. Oh, mind-blowing, right? That is so hard for a perfectionist, but try, practice. Do something a little bit wrong, right? And allow yourself to show up for that. Practice how that feels. Learn from that. Get feedback from yourself. And really, really lean in to the opportunity to do things that are new and scary and imperfect, because that is where you find the key to just moving forward, right? Getting through your perfection and doing things. I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.